Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to race number 15 of the first season of the NASCAR M&M's Cup Series. After today, we have 5 more races left to go until we crown a champion in this series. And time is starting to run out for drivers to try to get themselves into championship contention. Getting ready for um, the the Pocono Mountains 250 here at the Pocono Raceway. We haven't been here since the Winston Cup Series race earlier this year. That was the last time we were here, and a couple of drivers that took part in Winston Cup racing are here in this race this weekend. Dylan Cunningham starts on the pole position for today's race. Colleague Racing finally getting some poles. Dylan Cunningham, 24th in the points, still looking for his first win on the season. Ayrton De Silva is alongside in the number 91. De Silva comes into this race 18th in the points, gained 8 spots after last week's race at Michigan. Austin Scott in row number 2 in the number 24 machine. He comes into this race 40th in points, just trying to finish out what has been a miserable season for him. And alongside is Christopher Bright in the number 8 machine. Bright comes into this race dropping 5 spots down to 11th in the standings. Nathan Orman back in this race this week. He'll be in all but one remaining race on the schedule. Of course, he's only going to run in 5 races, so he'll overtake Monica Towns in the points. You should look at the rest of the starting lineup, and let's give you a top 10 in points presented by Golden Corral while these cars roll off. Don't know why the tickers popped up, but anyway. R Dorn is the points leader by 6 points over Lucci and Bianchi as... Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. As I was saying, R Dorn is the points leader by 6 points over Lucci and Bianchi. Zachy Panini dropped down 2 spots down to 3rd in the standings. Aaron Crowder is 4th in the standings, 21 points back. C Chilton is 5th, 34 points back. 6th is C Bracken, Bushy Clements 7th. Larry Hoyt dropped down 5 spots down to 8th. 9th, Sylvia Cunningham and Connor Breton complete your top 10. Got ourselves a busy schedule here this week for this channel. Since we're already in July. Can't believe we're already in July, believe it or not. Of course, today being July the 1st. So I pull up. Yeah, we're on July 1st. Of course, today is the M&M's Cup Series race. We saw the Red Bull GT Series race at Rio yesterday. Tomorrow we head to Mexico City for the middle race of the round of 16 for the Oreo Cup Series drivers for their second playoff race. Should be a lot of fun. And then Busch and Winston Cup Series coming your way from The Rock, Rockingham, North Carolina. But let's go M&M's Cup Series racing first before we get to Mexico City. Green flag is in the air. We are underway here at Pocono. 20 laps of racing, folks. Next week, we will finish up our world tour for the Red Bull GT Series drivers, as they are at the new track, Buenos Aires, Argentina, at the Autodromo Nestor Nunez track. The M&M's Cup Series drivers not sure where M&M's is going next week. I will have to look at the racetracks we've been to for M&M's. Next week we head to Richmond. We're heading to the Richmond International Raceway next week. Then we will head to Charlotte as far as that's concerned. So these drivers will be at Richmond next week, which will have Red Bull GT Series at Argentina. Wednesday is going to be the big day for some of these drivers that are in the Oreo Cup Series because it's an elimination race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which means when the checker flag waves, unfortunately for four drivers, their championship hopes will be dashed, as they will be the first four drivers eliminated from the championship hunt. That is, by the way, next week. And then Busch and Winston Cup Series will be heading to Dover International Speedway. Then the following week, Red Bull GT Series is off. We have my birthday bash. Got the birthday bash at Kansas. In fact, the following week, after we go to Richmond, we have a triple header. We have the birthday bash drivers. Then we'll have M&M's and Oreo Cup Series. M&M's for their I think it's their 16th. I'll have to double check that. No, 17th race of the season. And then for the Oreo Cup Series, it will be the first race of the round of 12. So we will have a triple header at Kansas. And before any of you ask, no, there was no signups for the birthday bash because I just handpicked the drivers. But there will be signups for the birthday bash next season. So there you go. There's baby C Bracken. CJ comes into this race, baby CJ that is, sixth in the points. And he enters this upcoming race at Mexico tomorrow. CJ Bracken, baby CJ. 7th in the points. Dropped 4 spots down to 7th in the standings. That was after the reformatted points. He's only a total of 7 points above the 12th position in the points cut line going into tomorrow's race. So CJ Bracken will need a good run or could be in, quote, recovery mode when we head to Indianapolis next week. These drivers are also we're going to also see these drivers at IRP. We actually may have an Indianapolis 1-2. We're going to have an Indiana 1-2, IRP, and then head over to the big track. As Dylan Cunningham, who was leading at some point, came off pit road. Tyson Aquino's come to pit road, so something's up. Same with Quinton Moore. Got some drivers with some unscheduled pit stops. Not entirely sure what happened. Unfortunately for Tyson Aquino, he's now gone a lap down as a result. So C Bracken and a couple of drivers going to have a passport to get to Mexico tomorrow. Tough break for Quentin Moore. He's also another one of those drivers who's in the um, Oreo Cup Series playoffs after getting a win and staying inside the top 30 in the points. By the way, Nathan Orman's making his second start in the 66. And Quentin Moore goes into the race at Mexico, 6 points above the 12th position, the points cut line the Oreo Cup Series. Got to figure out what happened to Tyson Aquino. Oh, the engine let go. That would probably be why. But why did Dylan Cunningham come to pit road? That's what I couldn't understand. Unless he got a penalty or something. Let's see. And he came to pit road after the first lap. Don't know what the issue was on the 11. I'll have to follow up on what happened to Quentin Moore. But Tyson Aquino blew a clutch. That's a shame for Tyson Aquino. Gotta figure out why Quentin Moore came to pit road. I mean, he was running in 22nd at the time of this. Was this it was an unscheduled pit stop? Must have been the same problem as Dylan Cunningham. Either that or they jumped the start. Whatever the case, that is a tough break for them as Zachy Panini is going to take the lead. 1 week after losing the points lead, Zachy Panini is trying to get the points lead back. I can't believe that for those drivers. That is a tough break for Quentin Moore. 21st in the points. Really did not need this. Just past the halfway point. 10 laps to go here at Pocono. Ayrton De Silva in the 91. Oh, let's see, where did he come in this race? He was 18th in the points. He really did not need this. Hate that for, no, that's where he is. Tyson Aquino, I'm mistaken him. Tyson fell to 29th in the points, excuse me. So, Ayrton's having a good run today. There's Daniel Gitirokh. Got some skid marks off of turn number 3. Not sure where that came from. As we're checking at the rear of the field, there's Lauren Ekstrom. Won't be seeing her until the Winston Cup Series race. There's Jake Brentley in the 41. Did not race last week at Michigan due to a mechanical failure. Trying to see who had damage on the car. There's Casey Hoyt in the 32. JP Latero. There's L Contreras. I believe that was the 18 that just got up in the wall in the back in the tunnel turn. Oh, Matt Gumbs is blown up. That just sums up Matt Gumbs' disappointing season. And he just missed the pit lane. What? Don't know why he missed the pit lane. Now he's got to go all the way around the track again. Boy, if Matt Gumbs has not had any luck, he's had no luck at all. He's having a tough season, if you ask me. If you're hearing rumbles of thunder in the background, I do apologize. We're supposed to have storms. Matt Gums jumped up 2 spots to 36 in the points. This is not the finish he needs, so he's going to be out of the race. As a result, as we look at baby CJ in the number 53 machine. Hopefully, this will be a sign of things to come for CJ. Baby CJ, that is. And C Bracken leads. We're coming up to 5 laps of racing to go. I think L Bianchi's got some left side damage on his Branch Chevrolet, and I'm starting to wonder if he had something. Yeah, it looks like he had something to do with the incident over in the turn 3 vicinity. We're gonna see. Starting to wonder if he had something to do with that incident because there were some skid marks in turn 3, and I couldn't tell who it came from. No. Trying to still. Oh! I didn't see this. Okay, this must have answered this question. I think Ray Atikian got held up, and Shane Scott just runs over the Branch Chevrolet, so there was skid marks on the back straightaway. And the 7's going to plop the wall there. And Orman's blown up. Oh boy, Army's blown up. That will take Nathan Orman out of the race. It was a piston failure for Matt Gomes. Of course, Orman's not running for the championship, sadly. And now he'll be our 3rd driver out of the race, but I still don't understand the skid marks off of turn number 3. We'll have to investigate that when we get to, as baby CJ went up the racetrack. D Silva's right. Silva's going to take the lead. There's the skid marks of that's Bianchi. So we now know, we figure out what happened to Bianchi. Before the official finishing results, as Daniel Gitirokh was so close, almost wrecked baby CJ there. Thankfully, the 54 saved it, but I was going to get ready to say, before the official finish results, we're going to need to investigate those skid marks in turn number 3 and figure out where those came from. Somebody must have gotten loose, and whatever happened ended up saving it. Couple of drivers up, and Panini's blown up. That's 3rd in points, Panini. He's out of the race just like that. And R Dorn not having a good day either. And remember, R Dorn came as the points leader. L Bianchi, 2nd in points, has had trouble. So the top 3 in the points have had troubles with 2 to go. Want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV, for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmitted or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association and the Blue Hedgehog TV is prohibited. World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Trying to see if anybody else has got left side damage besides the 7, but I'm really not seeing it. As we're coming to the white flag, Ayrton De Silva leads this race. As Ayrton De Silva trying to hold out baby CJ. They're coming up to Dylan Cunningham. Zachy Panini is yet to be pushed back behind the wall. Orman blew a gearbox on his machine. As we come off of turn number 3 for the final time, I don't think CJ's going to have an answer. And Ayrton De Silva is going to win here today at Pocono. Incredible run for Ayrton De Silva as he gets his first win of the year. Before we show your official finish results, let's investigate those skid marks in turn number 3, and then we'll come back for your official finish results here at Pocono. Well, this was back on lap number 9. I didn't realize this. Looks like Aaron Crowder, Jeremy Isley, and Bushy Clements got together. And there's where the skid marks came from. It came from the WeatherTech Chevrolet of Jeremy Isley. Did a great job saving it. And that would probably explain why L Dorn dropped all the way back to the back as far as that's concerned, and why there was skid marks off of turn number 3. So we found the answer. It was from the 88 of Jeremy Isley. Did a good job saving the race car and continued and finish the race. So that's what happened there. Now let's get to your official finish results here at Pocono. And welcome back to Pocono Raceways. We're going to wrap up our broadcast with our official results. Ayrton De Silva, this will put him in the top 15 of the standings leaving today. C Bracken, solid run in second. Hopefully this will be good momentum for him going into tomorrow's race. He was 6th in the points. And he finished ahead of a number of drivers who didn't do well today. So we'll see where this is going to situate him. Daniel Gitirokh will get 3rd. Gitirokh came into this race 27th in the points, dropped 4 spots after last week's race at Michigan. So good run for him. Austin Scott will get 4th. Austin Scott 40th in the standings. A well-needed run for him. Cody Smart will get 5th. Of course, Cody going to be in recovery mode in the Oreo Cup Series tomorrow as he's below the cut line after his DNF last week at Darlington. He's 31st in the points after an run at Michigan last week in this series. A 5th place, good run for him. Ellie Rose will get 6th, 33rd in the points. We'll see where this is going to move her in the standings. Harold Farkesco will get 7th. Farkesco was 35th in the standings. A well-needed run for him. Connor Breton with 8th. He'll stay in the top 10 of the points leaving today. Christopher Bright will get 9th. Bright came into this race. If I look for the 8 machine, he was 11th in points, so he'll be back inside the top 10 leaving today. And Mohammed Zain in the 19 machine comes away with the 10th place result. Zain came in this race 32nd in points, a well-needed run for him. Skylar Taylor, Loopy Contreras, Sylvia Cunningham, Jacob Foster, and Josh Harmon were your top 15. As you look on down through the rest of the finishing results, this is where the points are going to get really shaken up after this. Rogel Dorn, 28th, came as race as the points leader. L Bianchi, 36, came as race second in points. Z Panini finished out of the race after not entirely sure what let go on his number 71 machine. He was one of 4 drivers who did not reach the conclusion of this race. Nathan Orman, Matt Gomes, and Tyson Aquino, all due to mechanical failure issues. Orman, this is not going to affect him because he's not running for the championship anyway, because he's one of those, as I call it, celebrities from the former PCSRA Coca-Cola Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, Monster Energy Series, yada, yada, yada. So this has nothing effect for him. Matt Gomes and Tyson Aquino, on the other hand, it does affect them. And Matt Gomes really did not need a poor finish, if you ask me. Tyson Aquino also been free falling through the points the last couple of weeks. More bad luck for him. 38 drivers finished the race on the lead lap. Dylan Cunningham was the last of those. And looking at the drivers who really struggled in the bottom half of the results, I can tell you the points are going to be really shaken up after today's race. And a lot of drivers who had good results that are inside the top 10 of the points are going to capitalize. A lot of drivers running well in points really going to take some hits. So I do not have an assumption who is going to be the points leader heading into next week's race at Richmond, but we're going to find that out as Pocono played its part in shaking up the points. The only person I could see possibly take the points lead, but it's going to be iffy, will be Max C Chilton. But we'll find that out down in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Pocono. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description heading into next week's race at Richmond. But we have to finish up this race weekend. We got the Oreo Cup Series middle race of the round of 16 tomorrow at Mexico City. Then we have the, as I look at the schedule one more time before we sign off, we have, make sure I'm on the right schedule. We have Busch and Winston Cup Series coming your way from Rockingham, North Carolina. That is what we got coming up next. Then next week, we have a busy weekend of racing. We have Red Bull GT Series, final race before their off week. They will be live at beautiful Argentina, Buenos Aires, the Oval, the TM Master Cup Series race. We will have these drivers at Richmond. We will have our first elimination race for the Oreo Cup Series at Indianapolis, which will determine the 4 drivers who will be eliminated, and then it'll be just Busch and Winston Cup Series coming your way from the Monster Mile of Dover International Raceway. Hope you'll tune in for all the races coming up. Until then, I be D Gitirokh signing off as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013.